Hey, beautiful people of the internet, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully great, and welcome back to some more Warframe. So as you guys can tell, the weekly Archon hunts have been refreshed, and of course we are going to be fighting Amar. Last week was Boreal, so therefore we are going to be fighting a new Archon type every single week. But before we continue with the video any further, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys would like to support me or the channel any further, remember to leave a like, as this does help me out substantially. Sparking the subscribe button for more Warframe videos and streams. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys would like to go and play with me outside of YouTube or during any one of my live streams, there'll be a link down in the description to a Discord server. Go and join it. Without further ado, let's get this video on the road, shall we? So we're going to be starting off with what the restrictions are for this week. And the first one is one called Empowered Enemies. Enemy health and shields are increased by 100%, and additional 50% for each squad member, which is stacking up to around 300%. Of course, we are going to be seeing an increase to our, Eximuses, just like the usual. I don't know if that was from last week. I can't exactly remember. Let me know if, I'm wrong about this down in the comment section. The second restriction is, and this is really no stranger to respawns, and that is basically if you guys go down while doing this mission, you have to go and revive your fellow brethren. If not, then they'll die, and that's game over, and the chances are they'll probably go and leave, because no one wants to go and spectate, other Warframe players. Spectating is such a boring sport. Next up is we are going to be talking about the restriction on consumables. Now, consumables are basically the energy restoration pads, your ammo restoration pad, and of course your shield restoration pad. And these are all being restricted, and of course the same can be said to summons. Summons are really effective, especially if you guys do have the ancient healer, which gives yourself and allies 90% damage reduction. However, we cannot go and spawn it whether it's mission 1, mission 2, or even the showdown itself. And of course, if you guys do use any of the restriction types, you're basically going to have to wait another 3 minutes to go and use them again, which is a very, very, very long time to go and wait when it comes to taking out an Archon. Now, as for the rewards, here is what we're going to be talking about. As you guys can tell, we are going to be getting access to a Crimson Archon Shard. Now, the Crimson Archon Shard is basically the Archon Shard type that gives you more offensive damage. And what I mean by that is you guys have a choice between either more critical damage on your melee weapons, more stage chance on your secondary, or even, more critical chance on your primary weapons. And it does have a bunch of other, boosted stats. However, I can't remember them off the top of my head. But if you guys are curious, I have already covered all 3 of these shard types. There'll be a link down in the description to one of my videos where I actually talk to you guys about it. So go ahead and take a look at it, and of course it will be suggested to you guys at the top right. So those are the rewards, and of course it can be any one of these ones. And me personally, I only got the Iatan sculpture, just like how we would get them in the sortie. However, I wouldn't really mind it too much, because if I had to get an Iatan sculpture from both the Archon hunt and the sortie in one single instance, that'd be kind of cool, because now you're getting 8,000 endo, which I'm not going to be I'm not going to be too upset about that, mainly because I make a lot of my platinum from maxing out primed mods. Now, as for bonuses, if you guys do have Caliban, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but for me this week, if I have Caliban, I'll be receiving an increase of 300% power strength and of course 500 base health. Not 500% of whatever I have, 500 base health, which is basically a flat increase to my health in general. And of course, the weapons of choice this week is going to be the Axe Stiletto Prime, the Galva Cord, and the Act Bronco. They are going to be receiving 300% increase to our damage output. Now, I don't really think it does include the primed weapons. I'm sure the game would tell us, but if I'm wrong, one more time, let me know down in the comment section if it does include. So, prime weapons, I am very convinced it is going to be primed, because who on earth still is going to be using the Axe Stiletto and the Act Bronco, the regular versions, if you do have the prime, counterparts, which are actually a lot more effective and more powerful. Now, let's talk about the other 2 missions. So, as you guys can tell, just like last week, we are going to be receiving 3 missions. We've got mission 1, which is the rescue. We've got mission 2, which is the defense. And of course, we've got the showdown itself, which is, taking out Amar. Now, as you guys can tell, mission 1 starts at 130 to 135, mission 2, 135 to 140, and of course, the final one, which is going to start from 145 all the way up to level 150. So one thing I do want to say is that these rescue missions is actually more harder than you guys currently think it is. So mission 1 is going to be a rescue, and it functions just like how a regular rescue does work. However, this one is actually going to be with a twist. So when you guys actually go and get into the jail cell to go and free your target or your captive, as you guys can tell, we are going to be using a bit of a different system. And if you guys have played the new War Quest, you'll know exactly what this hacking system is. And let me tell you, the first run itself, when I actually went and this, I was like, what is going on? Nani? I was very confused. I actually did struggle a little bit. I only failed it once, mainly because I'm not used to the system. I was really expecting your typical Grenier hacking system, where you just have to push spacebar all the time. But no, we do get this. And the way it works, basically, you need to go and fiddle around with the, blue mouse and look around what's happening. And then you need to then go and fiddle around with the other mouse by controlling the blue mouse. I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but if you guys do decide to go and play it, then you'll understand. I'm more of a trial and error type of guy. I learned by doing, not by actually getting someone to explain it to me. So mission number 2 is going to be a defense, and let me tell you guys, these enemies are very, very, very tanky. Now, unfortunately, I was actually doing this mission with the host having really bad internet. I don't know if it's the internet. I still want to blame them, but mainly because usually when I'm in my Peacemaker Mesa, I will always go and get knocked down, and it was really annoying. And the thing that made it even worse is that while I'm in my Peacemaker, I am unable to go and deactivate my ability, nor was I able to go and get up. All I did was I just lied there, like I was drank too much alcohol, and my teammate just decided to just sit there, and I could always take damage, but I could never get up, nor could I deactivate, nor could I actually go and type. And basically, you want to go and do this with a public squad, mainly because a lot of these enemies are very tanky, and of course you are going to be needing help, because at the end of the day, you do not exactly want to go and have problems when it comes to this, as this mission type is very long. And if you ask me, this particular mission was a lot longer than going and taking out the Archon itself. So mission number 3 is basically the showdown between us Tenno and the Archon Amar, and there really isn't any difference between the showdowns themselves. All you need to do is to go and buff yourself like I currently am doing here, and then once you guys are done buffing yourself, go and fight Amar, and basically you're just going to see this cutscene. I was going to show it to you guys, but unfortunately my teammate decided elsewhere. So what we're going to be doing is go and fight the Archon. Then you want to go and damage him up to a certain phase. Doing so, he'll then go and flee. Now, as you guys can tell, he's got a completely different skill set or attack pattern from Boreal. And of course, because we are going to be using my build, I was able to take up at least 50% of his output damage. Of course, I could have been doing more, but my teammates were actually going and killing all the ads. Therefore, I wasn't able to go and take out wasn't able to go and buff myself, because when it comes to Chroma, that requires a ton of buffing. And of course, when it comes to taking him out down to his like 50 or 60% of his health, he will then go and summon some homies, take them out, and then he'll go and fight you again. Once again, you then want to go and take him out or go and deal damage. Of course, if you guys are fast enough, then you'll be able to go and deal even more damage. On top of that, pretty much almost one-shotting him, but the game won't allow it. You basically have to go and take him out when it comes to the final phase of his fight. Once you guys do so, you'll then have to go and split into 2 teams, just like how the Boreal fight. And basically, in these 2 teams, each person have to go and retrieve a key for a specific gate. Go and kill this particular enemy. He's actually a lot more different from others. He's not really that hard to go and take out. I don't know if that's just me playing as Chroma or me having a ton of Forma onto my shotgun, which is the Kuva Heck. By the way, I did get myself a godly Riven, so I will definitely be able to go and decimate him. Once you guys have actually gotten yourself those keys, you can then go and open up the gates. Once you guys have gone past those gates, it's now time to go and take him out on his final phase. So basically, once you guys have opened them, you just have to go and walk to the general area, go and start attacking. Of course, with my loadout, I actually have to go and get up close and personal with him, and he'll start to try and heal. You basically have to go and prevent that. Once you guys have done it with the operator, you can then go and start damaging him. Of course, he will then go and spawn some more homies, and these homies are actually a lot more tankier than the previous ones. So simply go and decimate them like so. When you guys have done that, you'll basically be able to go and freely kill them.